Yes, I don't know. It's already in my mouth. Like, what am I going to do? Just not swallow it?
And we're live.
Oh, hey, welcome everyone to the Backpage News Show presented by Down on the Wire. I'm Jacob Bracco.
I'm co-host John Balser. Off cam, we got fat guy Coleman on the keys.
Hey guys, I love facts.
Facting off, man.
Big factor. We're going to need you, man. We got a big story today. But before we get into that, I just want to let you guys know this is the first episode of the new look that we teased on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, we teased for Tuesday,
Yes.
which is today, on Friday, which was last week when we usually post. But today is when we're now posting. So welcome to the new look. Today's going to be a big one. We're going to break it down into two parts because we tried recording it already.
Twice.
And it took way too long.
Both times.
Because it's a big story.
Huge.
So we're going to do this in two parts. So whenever we have bigger stories like this, for example, one would have been the big penis war, which was last episode. That would be a two-parter in the new look format.
Tell them what this two-parter is going to be.
So this two-parter is about the godmother, the matriarch of magic mushrooms, who is the reason why this small town in Mexico is the epicenter in the world for magic mushrooms, and her downfall, and how it was a blessing and a curse, and just how the whole town went from hating her to now praising her after her death. So we're going to go to like the follow to that, everything that's come with it. But before we get into that, like, follow, subscribe. Shout out to Red Bull. Today's episode is fueled by them. And grab a bowl, John. Yeah, and guys, stay tuned for part 2. It's going to be on Thursday because like we said, we're going to do multiple episodes a week now. That's how we roll. We're a 2-show week podcast now. We made it. All the best shows are multiple times a week. Everyone knows that. And we made it there.
Well, let's do it.
Oh, whoa. Oh,
Hey. Hey.
How you doing?
Chemistry, right? Great off the first go. Eh? Gotta love that shit. Kick us off, man.
I just did.
I meant with the story, man. I meant with the story. Like, let's get into this whole saga, I guess you could call it.
Okay, well, first, let me paint a picture for you guys, all right?
That's good storytelling.
Imagine it's a nice, warm breeze, clear skies, nice mountainous region surrounding you. It's a little dry on the main level, but as you get up in elevation, it starts great forestation, lots of greenery.
You're killing this.
A lot of mountains.
Yeah, you're in Oaxaca, Mexico.
And you just look around and every gift shop's got mushroom tote bags. There's cabs that have mushrooms painted on the side of it, murals everywhere of mushrooms. And you walk into a guy and you're like, hey, can I get some mushrooms? And he's like, you came to the right place. You know why? Because you're in the epicenter of mushrooms right now. You're in Oaxaca, a.k.a., more specifically, Huautla de Jimenez. Huautla de Jimenez. A town in the region of Oaxaca, which is known for their mushrooms, man. It's a huge thing down there. Started with the indigenous. What was the name of the tribe?
This is the Mazatec people in the Mazatec mountain range of Oaxaca.
Yeah, so that started, like, first records of these people eating magic mushrooms, 1500s, man.
Earlier than that, dude.
Well, I'm sure it was happening earlier than that, but the first of it was recorded was 1500s because the Spanish conquistadors killed that word, didn't I, Coleman?
Absolutely.
They came on over here and they were like, holy shit, these tribal folk are just eating mushrooms and like seeing God. But when they tried it, they were scared. They saw the devil. They called it like the devil's food or some shit like that. Yes, but
they banned that shit.
Banned it. Sent it to the outskirts. Suppressed it. They just kind of turned the blind eye to it.
Fucking Spanish.
They couldn't hang. They couldn't hang.
My second least favorite type of conquistador.
Could you imagine, though, taking mushrooms in the 1500s?
Yeah, I feel like it'd be like now.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like,
drugs don't change.
I know they don't, but like the ideas that you'd have, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know, when you're like, you just get super introspective when you're eating mushrooms, and you're just like, man,
am I gay?
Like,
and then they're like, no, I can't. It's the 1500s.
It was a long time on that boat with all those dudes sailing across.
Well, that's why you became a pirate back then.
Exactly. Or a cowboy.
Yeah.
Or a cowboy to bang butts.
Yeah. That's what all the great explorers did. You're going to go find spices in Asia? Okay. With your boys, you're going to go discover cinnamon? All right, for sure. Moving on.
Cinnamon's a gay spice anyways.
Pirates looking for booty? Come on. We know what was going on. Anyways, they suppressed it. They're like, this is the devil's drug. We're not going to let it happen. So these indigenous tribes, they kept doing it, but on the DL, they didn't let anyone know about it. So all of the writings of that time about magic mushrooms were incorrect because people didn't know what they were looking for.
Yeah. Thought they were like way deeper. Thought it was peyote, which is like a much longer lasting, more intense, naturally occurring psychedelic, but it was actually just mushies. And the Mexican people and these tribes were getting down on them. Like it was an integral part to their culture and still is to this day, actually.
So eventually some dude in 1936, he discovered these magical mushrooms and he wrote a paper on it. And then this other guy, this American guy, found these papers. His name was Gordon Wasson. And that is where the story begins, folks. This motherfucker blew everything wide open. For better or for worse, we're going to figure that out later. I would say, you know what, we'll save that. We'll save that. But he read up on these papers and he found about these mushrooms and he wanted to find out what was going on. So he took several trips to Hualta de Jimenez. Killed that.
You're getting better.
Thank you.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
Third time's a charm.
Thanks, man. And then upon several attempts to try and get into, to go on these veladas is what the Mexicans called it.
Veladas, I believe.
Veladas.
Veladas. Enchiladas. What the fuck?
Enchiladas. Which translates to nighttime mushroom purification ritual.
Crazy. Do you ever like hear words in another language and they have like one word for like a whole sentence? And you're like, man, that's so advanced.
I feel like that's not the direct translation.
It can't be.
It can't be. Coleman, we got a quick translation on that.
There was just side note. There was a story I was reading recently about this like new food trend in Asia that like you get served rocks that are seasoned with like spices and herbs and whatnot. And essentially what you do is you just pick the
you suck on them rocks.
Suck on them rocks.
Yeah.
Suck them stones, baby. And then you spit them out. And then like you just keep the rocks. And they have one word for it. And the word is, I forget what the word is, but essentially what it means is suck and dispose. And, you know.
Oh, it's called your mother.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to say it. Come on. I was setting up for the punchline. Fuck you, man. Fuck you.
So anyway.
I've been sitting on that for 2 goddamn weeks and you just fucking pulled the rug right out from under my feet. It's going to be about your mother was the word. Fuck.
Anyways,
piss me off.
So this guy Gordon Wasson, he traveled down to Hualta de Jimenez multiple times. Every time he went down there, he was denied access to any of these veladas. Whenever he asked for these magical mushrooms, they're like, "No, man, we don't fuck with you gringos down here."
Yeah.
Until one time, he finally broke through.
Someone's like, "Hey, essay.
Hey, gringo,
this way.
Hey, come here." And then he introduced him. He's wearing a Raiders jersey.
A Cowboys jersey with Jordan blue, like 13s on, jean shorts down past his knees, dog. That's rude.
I think he actually went to like the mayor or the highest ranking government official and like was very respectful and he was like the proper indigenous terms for it. And
no, I like our way better. I like our way better. He went to Jorge wearing the Cowboys jersey, the faded fucking Zeke Elliott jersey with some 13 flints on. Let's go.
And then eventually someone led him to Maria Sabina, who was known as the matriarch of magic mushrooms. She was like the go-to shaman.
Yep.
At that time.
Yeah, she held many, many, many veladas, and that is where Gordon Wasson and his sidekick, Alan Richardson, a photographer, experienced their first velada. I think it's worth noting that Gordon Wasson he was a VP at JP Morgan Bank in the States and was just an amateur mycologist. So he just like found mushies interesting.
Is that what a mycologist is?
Yeah, they like mushies.
Okay.
And not even to like eat them. Like they're just like, I just want to know what like these ones do. Because, like, it's an interesting plant, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, but now the whole lid's going to be blown off his whole perception of how cool mushrooms are.
Well, he took place in the ritual, and he reassured Maria Sabina multiple times, like, hey, listen, we aren't going to expose this to the West. Even though I have a notepad, pen, paper, and a photographer with me, we're not going to document this and expose it to America. Don't worry. 2 years passed, they wrote an article in Life magazine for millions to see.
Yep.
But we'll get there. Anyways, they did that ritual. He spent 9 days there. They partake, and he has this mind-opening experience, and then he takes 2 years to write this article that gets launched in this the biggest magazine at that time. That is true. I looked it up. Life magazine was the biggest. It was the biggest magazine at the time. And he exposed this Velada's ritual that happens with these magic mushrooms. And now every American and their mother knows of what goes on in Hualta de Jimenez. And now everyone wants in on Oaxaca.
So
they want in on this ritual.
This is what I think is worth noting, is that how spiritual the mushrooms were to these people, especially Maria Sabina herself, who called them saint children or like children of the god. And that is what gave them these divine powers, because these ceremonies weren't just like, hey, let's just go to the woods and eat some mushies and like, let's listen to the trees talk to us. Like, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't our last Friday.
Exactly.
That's not what it is to them.
It was like every second weekend in high school.
To them, it's not a drug.
No, it's a
like, rite of passage.
It's a way of life, really. Yeah. Like it's a really integral part of their culture, and that is sort of what came to the detriment. Like that was like. So how am I supposed to say
you
this?
had it.
Yeah?
Yeah. You should have kept saying detriment. Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah. This culture came with a detriment. Am I saying this right?
I have no idea what you're trying to say.
The white people fucked the culture up. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I mean, these indigenous people just trusted a white man yet again. And, well, not yet again. I don't think they trusted them the first time, but they let them in again, and they fucked it up again.
But that's the thing about...
He's a banker, you know what I mean? Like, you really trust this guy coming in? Because now, so the secret's out, he let it out, and now everyone in America knows about this magic mushroom experience you can take part in Mexico. So now everyone starts flocking over to Mexico.
Yeah. There's even accounts like Bob Dylan, Keith Richards, John Lennon.
So this is kind of where everything takes a turn, folks, because now everyone starts abusing this ritual and partaking in it just to get high, and they keep ruining the secrets, if you will, of this town. It's not even like a secret. It's just this sacred, you know.
It's kind of like what Aaron Rodgers did to ayahuasca retreats, you know?
No, he made them cool.
But did he? Like, I feel like they were already pretty cool, and then now everyone's like, I should probably just go do this now.
So what happens next is a bunch of, hippies migrate there, and then we have the fallout of Sabina, Maria Sabina, the main person. She gets hated on by the town to the nth degree. We're going to touch on that. And then the town ends up, I don't know if I want to give too much away in part 2.
No, don't.
But the town ends up just like, it's this weird up and down of like, we hate you, fuck you for giving away our secrets, but hey, now we're like millionaires. You know what I mean? And it just made the country or the region great and prosperous.
There you go.
We'll edit that in post. So that's coming up in part 2, though. Part 1, let's quickly reflect on what we know, which is, the modern day, you can go there still to this day.
Yeah.
Just take mushrooms.
And people are still like, in modern day, like people are still like using these mushrooms in very traditional ceremonial ways. Like children as young as 6 are eating these mushrooms.
Dude.
In certain parts of
In certain
Oaxaca.
parts, yes. Sorry.
The accounts that we read are from Zapotec culture, where they give it to children. We don't know, but the Hualta de Jimenez
They do.
is Mazatec culture. I don't know if they do the
do.
same exact thing.
In the article that talks about Hualta de Jimenez, this one guy was saying when he was 7 years old, he partook in the...
So like it's really ingrained in their culture. Like they're giving them to kids so that they're like, it's a rite of passage. It's how you become an adult. It'll guide you to where you need to be to make the right decisions for the rest of your life at 6 years old.
Dude, how do you you can't even get children to eat vegetables in North America. How are they getting these kids to eat mushrooms, bro?
Probably mix them up in some
still you taste
tapioca
it, bro.
pudding.
If you know, like,
Yeah. Just throw it in a taco or a burrito or a chimichanga.
I'm trying to imagine how a trip would go with a child. Let's pretend, okay, you're a kid.
Okay.
All right. You just had mushrooms. You're about 45 minutes and it's starting to hit.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Hey, Johnny, how you feeling? Is it hitting?
What?
How you doing, little John? You good?
I think I got shit.
You already did, John.
Sorry. In my diaper?
Yeah. I see it.
I don't think I need it anymore because I'm a man. It just seems, it seems so trivial that I'm this young and I don't have a full-time job yet. and I'm still in preschool, and I'm expected to like go to school for more years, and I'm going to be a cog in the machine of the workforce and just work my whole life till I die, and I don't know if I really want to be a part of that.
Yeah. It's tough.
And society really scares me. I'm only 6 right now, but I've seen what it looks like on the outside world. I've watched TV. I read the BBC News, and it's just, I don't know if this world is for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How big was this dose? How much longer do I have?
You want to take that Hot Wheels out of your butt? And then we can move forward?
Would you rather be 6 and eat mushrooms, or would you rather eat mushrooms in 1500?
I'd rather be 6 because I feel like you have children have the best imagination. So I feel like you pair that with mushrooms, it would just be the best trip of all time. I feel like it's unfair because now these kids are going to be chasing that high for the rest of their lives.
That's crazy.
You know?
That's wild. I just want to go back to our Gordon Wasson, the freaking colonialist of magic mushrooms. Do you think it's in
Why don't we get into that in part 2?
You want to wait?
Yeah, let's get into that in part 2 because that's what we're going to get into.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man.
There's some interesting political forces at work, broader political forces at work in this story.
100%. So
stay tuned for part 2, folks.
Coming Thursday. You just got to wait a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let us know in the comments what you guys think of this new format. Quick, easy listens for you guys. Stories in the future, we're going to try and wrap up within the 15-minute window, but this is just too big of a story to do that. So when we have these bigger stories, it's going to be 2-parters. What are you going to do?
Leave any critiques in the comments below.
Let us know if you would let your children try magic mushrooms.
Yeah, don't be mean in the comments, so please.
Send us videos. We'll do live reactions.
If you are a child, what would you trip on? If you are a child, stop listening. Bye.